like, there's this controversial idea. I agree with it. Some people don't. But us women, we have a timeline. So once we
Yeah.
reach 30, like that transition from 29 to 30, our value goes down. And I believe that
Mm-hmm.
because in our 30s, like how, like, yeah, we can have kids and all, but there needs to be a timeline for everything, just like we've been talking about. The timeline, like, are you really going to marry a guy after 6 months? No, you're not. Are you going to have kids after 3 months of your wedding? No, you're not. So
Mm-hmm.
everything needs to be like planned out according. And I feel like women in our 20s, we have a higher chance of meeting a really great guy who we can build a family with. Once you turn 30, it's just kind of tough. And that's just me
It's
being realistic.
No, it's true. It's one of the great lies that culture and society and everything tells women is you go girl, climb the corporate ladder, get your degrees, pay off the debt, buy the Tesla, furnish the house with the IKEA shit, make yourself attractive to a man. And those aren't the things that make women attractive to men. The things that make women attractive to men is purity, beauty,
Yeah.
cooperation, respect, things like that. The things that disgust men are when women sleep around with a bunch of dudes, right? And women have different ideas of what that looks like. Some will say, "Oh, well, I wasn't promiscuous because I only slept with 5 or 6 guys," and there'll be guys out there that'll be like, 5 or 6 is too much. Sorry, I've got options over here where it was 1 or 2, or she was in a long-term relationship for 9 years with one guy and one guy only, right? Like, that's a better choice for them. But it's this story where women are just like, they basically turn themselves into men. They take all the cues that men take: chase excellence, make money, make something of yourself, drive a nice car, buy a nice house, and then they start to do the exact same thing. And they get degrees and they accumulate them and they put them on the walls, frame them in mahogany, and they go out there and then they get into their 30s and they're looking around for a guy and they really struggle, and then they start doing stupid shit like freezing eggs. I mean, there's nothing like frozen peas are not as good as fresh peas. I don't care what people say. It's like one of the dumbest things ever. I don't know why women do this. I see it all the time, and it's like, stop doing it. Like, if you want to have kids, get serious about having kids in your 20s. That's the time to do it. Not when you're getting old and you become, you get in the area of high risk pregnancy. You're tired. Sleep is more important to you in your 30s and 40s than it is in your 20s, obviously. Um, but it's a but it's a shame, and we hear this story over and over again, right? And we had a girl on, I don't know, 2, 3 weeks ago. Moff and I were talking to this gal. She was in her 40s, and she had a whole bunch of student debt. She was in the medical profession. I can't remember what she did exactly, but she made good money, well into 6 figures. She was told by culture and society, put off, taking a guy seriously, climb the corporate ladder, get degrees, buy your house, buy your car. And she's in her 40s and she hates her life, right? She
Yep.
can't find a guy. She's overweight. She's struggling to lose the weight. She doesn't have time to look after herself. She's working 7 days a week to pay for all the stupid shit that she doesn't really care about, that doesn't impress a guy, right? And that's how they get there. And it's sad.
That's a really sad life.
It is. It is. But look, man, this is what everybody told ladies to do. This is why we have all these gals today that are all these boss girls that are doing all these things, and they're like, "No, I'm going to put it off. I'm in situationships right now." And it's like, I get sad when I hear that. You know what I mean? Like, I get sad, man.
Yeah, the tough part is like they've got to figure it out on their own. I mean, like as much as we have Zorion and as much as oftentimes when we have older women on and that say this kind of stuff, like everybody thinks they're going to be the exception. Everybody believes they're going to be the one that's different. Everybody would love to think, oh, well, that's not going to happen to me. And then, okay, let me know how that works out for you. Like, we'll catch up with you in 10 years. And it's like, here's the thing too. Look, like we are not these guys that are like, oh, enjoy your cats and boxed wine. Oh, no guy's going to want you. Like, we don't play that nonsense. Like we're not about like, and here's the thing. What a lot of guys get mad about, especially in this space, is that most women are still going to get into marriages and relationships. Even the ones that are OnlyFans models, even the girls with triple-digit body counts or whatever, like they're going to get into relationships. Like hoping for someone's downfall is dumb,
Yeah.
right? So, but at the same time, it's like, look, I think there's value in having these conversations, and maybe if somebody takes something away from it, then great. But yeah, it's difficult because we catch so much flack for these conversations, and we have people that are coming on and are living proof. They're like, yeah, like everything that I was told was a lie, and I regret it, and now I'm, up the creek without a paddle, so to speak. Yeah, it's sad.
Did you guys see the dude that went into the door behind her at the start of the show?
I missed that.
Yeah, like what was that all about? Like that was just kind of embarrassing. Like it seemed like it was like a hookup. Like what was he in his underwear? Or
He wasn't even wearing her shirt. That's why I was laughing from the start, because she's like, yeah, I'm single. And then she mentioned situationship. Then I recalled the dude walking into the room and closing the door behind him. I'm like, okay.
I think that's something we said had to trigger her. I don't think she's coming back.
I don't think she's coming back.
One thing I do want to say is that it's definitely uncomfortable to hear the truth. And it's reasonable for her to be upset, but eventually she's going to realize, like, wow, they were right. When she's 32, when it's going to be hard to find.
It's going to be much more uncomfortable then.
I mean, the sooner that women have these conversations and hear these truths, the better off they're going to be.
Yeah.
The biblical stacks of lies that people are telling men and women today are just atrocious. It's just atrocious. And that's why, we end up in these situations, that we're in today, where it's like, there's lots of guys out there right now that are like, I'm together. I got it. I got money. I got the house. I got everything paid off, but I got no options. Every single chick that I look at is a flaming dumpster fire. Like, what am I supposed to do with this, that, or the other thing? And it's like, okay. I mean, I think there's probably more guys out there that are of relationship or marriage type of caliber than I think there are women, unfortunately. I don't know. What do you guys think about that?
I think it depends on the area, because here in Miami, it's hard to find a good man.
Miami's that kind of town, though, isn't it?
Maybe in Connecticut or something. I don't know.
But Miami's that kind of town, right? I mean, like I asked Myron once when he was running a show for quite a while, and I said, "Look, do you guys cherry pick these bimbos, for the show?" He goes, "No, that's just a sample of what lives in Miami." Right. So it's just that kind of town. So I think if you're a guy and you want a high quality girl, I would say get the hell out of Miami.
That's true.
Right. I really hope you guys enjoyed that clip. If you want to watch the full length podcast, you can find that over here, that clip's from. If you're newer to the channel, make sure you hit subscribe over here, and pin down below in the top comment, you'll find a bunch of useful links to my website, my supplement line, books, and a bunch of other stuff. Have an amazing day. Peace out.